Wayne, always disappointing to go out on penalties, but I think in the 90 minutes just didn't quite have what we needed to get a goal.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Obviously disappointing. I don't think either team really created too much within the 90 minutes, so I think penalties was the only way it was going to be decided tonight, and unfortunately we came out the losing side of that.
Certainly felt a bit like Saturday. We just struggled to create chances. Gillingham defended very well, it's worth mentioning, but we just weren't clinical up in the final third.
Yeah, I think we probably weren't clinical in the final third. I think we didn't start attacks too well either. There was times when we could have made passes and played through, and then direct play we didn't really affect our backline and disrupt it enough to sort of get the ball in good areas of the pitch and then sustain our attacks from there. So it's something that, like you said, it's not just been this game, it's something we'll look at in the coming weeks.
Certainly our best chances, I think Josh Key had one from distance. Our best chances did seem to come from distance this evening. Yeah,
I think Jacob Priest went through in the first half, possibly could have shot with his left foot. There was a header from Tim, I think, I remember in the first half as well, or Tim just missed with the keeper, come and collected it. But again, I agree that probably aside from that, a few crosses flashed across the front, there was nothing really of real note, which is disappointing. But you know, I have to say we did limit them to limited chances as well, so we'll take a plus out of that.
Pierce Sweeney returned to the side today, but went off in the second half. He just seemed to get himself caught under the ball. What's the early analysis of
Pierce rolled his ankle. We were keen for Pierce to get some minutes. Obviously, he's had a bit of a hectic week. His wife's given birth to their second child, or his partner giving birth to their second child, and we just wanted Pierce to get some minutes on the pitch tonight. I think the plan was if he had a stead on, he probably would have come off anyway as a substitution. But he rolled his ankle, and we've just got to be cautious because our squad's relatively slim. So we've just got to make sure that we look after people, so don't take any unnecessary risks.
Giovanni Brown, I think certainly for the fans, a surprise addition back to the squad. It didn't quite work out for him in Jamaica. For those who aren't too up to date on what's happened, can you just explain why Giovanni did return? I'm
not 100% sure myself, if I'm being perfectly honest. As far as I know, their game was cancelled against Ghana, and I think then the itinerary beyond that wasn't going to get Giovanni enough game time or enough training time. So at that point I think he come to an agreement with the Federation that he could come back and play for us and get the training and the game time that he wants and needs.
And it's important. I think that highlights his commitment to the club, doesn't it?
Yeah, Giovanni's fantastic. He can't get enough. He loves his football. He's really enjoying his time at Exeter. You can see that in the way he's playing. So I think whenever the itinerary didn't match up with what he felt he needed or what he wanted, then he just put the request in to come back, and I think the Jamaican Federation were more than willing to oblige on it.
Obviously, Matt was absent tonight, and we congratulate him and Sarah on the birth of their baby. How much preparation had Matt done with you for this game, because I know it's been a couple of days since he was last with the team?
Yeah. Firstly, congratulations to Matt and his wife Sarah. I think they've had a hectic few days, so we've had Pierce and Matt doing it, so there's babies all around the place. I think we got MJ to come. We had the same preparation we usually had, obviously with Matt not being around as much. The preparation was left to myself and the rest of the coaching team and the analysis team. We didn't do anything majorly different from what we usually do. We had time where we have meetings and we sit down with videos, and we had the players on the pitch walking through stuff, obviously on Monday and yesterday. So we didn't do a huge amount different. I think the difference is Matt's presence is probably the biggest difference. And again, he has a real keen eye for the defensive stuff as well, so any of the defensive stuff he would pick out. But again, we've done the best he could in the circumstances with what we had.
Certainly quieter on the touchline this evening.
Yeah, I think Dan Green was probably the loudest on the touchline. I don't tend to. My voice is not as strong as Matt's, and if it is, it doesn't seem to carry for as long. We tried to get the players going. We drove them along as best we could. So we did. We tried to keep them going, especially the ones who weren't used to playing 90 minutes. There was a lot of players out there tonight. I would say we're out of rhythm of playing games of football. If you look at the back three, probably 2 out of the back 3 haven't had a huge amount of minutes. In midfield, again, just rotating people around. So Josh Coley coming in, MJ coming back in, Jacob Priest. They've had minutes, but they're not in the rhythm of playing. So it was just trying to keep those guys, one, focused on what their jobs were, and 2, just trying to make sure they got the minutes in the leg that they need.
And more important minutes for Sonny Cox as well.
Yeah, excellent for Sonny. We just thought, you know, Sonny's got a bit of physicality about him. He's willing to run and jump. He's willing to run and compete. And he just gave us a platform when he came on. He gave us a better platform at the top end of the pitch from doing that. It was just something different from what was already up there. I thought he'd done fantastic in his penalty in front of the noise and the crowd that were down there. He wanted one. He was keen to step up and take it, and I thought he'd done a very good job. So Sonny will be one for us, hopefully, for the future.
Trying to put a positive spin on tonight's defeat, is it almost a blessing in disguise that we've no longer got a cup run in this competition, given the current size of our squad?
I'm disappointed. I'm sure Matt will be disappointed. The coaching staff, the players are all disappointed. I suppose the positive spin on it is that the players who haven't had a huge amount of match minutes got it. So we got the first real 90 minutes into Sam Stubbs, who was huge for us last year, and he'll be huge for us this season. So it was fantastic to get minutes into him. Kegs got a good sort of 30 minutes into his legs, and I thought he'd done fantastically well as well. Again, Pearce, having had the baby in a busy week, he got some minutes into his legs. Josh Key getting back and getting minutes in his legs. So the positives are people are getting minutes in their legs, they're getting game time, and rhythm's an important thing in football. It's hard to be out of a team and then come back into the team and try and then find your way and how the team are playing and what they're doing. So I think, you know, the positive would be that we've got minutes in people's legs and hopefully a bit more rhythm for those players.
And finally, the good thing in football is there always seems to be another game around the corner.
Yeah.
On to Accrington on Saturday. Hopeful Matt's back for that one, so you don't have to do another interview. It's important we just put this one behind us now and just focus on Saturday's game.
Yeah, we haven't got time this month, the coming weeks. We haven't got time to feel sorry for ourselves. We've got to keep putting our feet forward. So yeah, we'll travel back to the hotel tonight. We'll stop over. The boys will then travel back. Some will train tomorrow. Thursday will be a day off for everyone, and then Friday we're on the road. So there's no time to feel sorry for ourselves. We've got to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves down, and go again. Of course, we'll sit down as a group of staff, hopefully with Matt, and we'll look through some bits and bobs and try and brush them up. But there's not a huge amount of time, and I got to be honest, I don't think there's a huge amount wrong. I think when we're at our best, we know what we are, and I think when we are true to that, and I think we're a very hard team to beat.
Wayne, appreciate your time this evening. I know it's not something you've done a lot, so thanks for your time.
No problem at all.